Hello, welcome to Richland School District 2's Unpacking Middle School Mathematics Standards. Our learning objectives for this presentation are: using mathematics standards, the learner will identify the cognitive demands and the essential knowledge needed to target that particular standard, and to create an unpacking standards matrix that links content with literacy. So, what does this process of unpacking standards really involve? Well, there are 4 steps. Identify cognitive demand. In other words, what are the skills our students should learn? Connecting prior knowledge. What prior knowledge do my students already have when they step foot into my classroom? Our goal should be to teach our students our grade level standards. Stay in your lane. Step 3, establishing clear objectives. Make sure your objectives are purposeful and aligned to the standards. And finally, identify instructional strategies or tools, which are research-based content strategies or literacy strategies that work best to help students learn in your classroom. I would like to encourage you to think about utilizing activities that encourage students' discovery and collaboration. Now, we are ready for the unpacking standards process. In this chart, you'll be able to choose a specific standard. Find the verbs, the nouns, prior knowledge, and instructional strategies or tools that would go along with this standard. Let's take a look at an example. Middle School Standard 6NS1. This is from the number system domain. Compute and represent quotients of positive fractions using a variety of procedures. For example, visual models, equations, and real-world situations. Our state or district support document gives us clarifying notes for the standards. They read, divide positive fractions by fractions using visual models and equations. Solve real-world problems using division of fractions. So, as we look at the Unpacking Standards matrix, we see that you are asked to identify the verb, noun, prior knowledge, and instructional strategies or tools. In this particular standard, we notice that the verbs are to compute and represent. The nouns are quotients of positive fractions using a variety of procedures. So, what does this mean? This means that our students must be able to divide fractions by fractions using visual models and equations, and that students must be able to solve real-world problems using division of fractions. Students' prior knowledge can be found in our state or district support documents. In these documents, you'll find what students have already learned in prior grades, so that we do not have to repeat this instruction or begin from scratch. For this particular standard, prior knowledge includes multiplication facts from grades 3, understand the relationship between multiplication and division from grade 5, and understand parts of a fraction from grade 3. Instructional strategies would be the tools or strategies that we could use in our classroom. For example, multiple representations of visual models should be used to show division of fractions. Linear models, such as number lines, or area models, such as an array, can be used to illustrate this concept. A standard algorithmic model can also be used. Real-world context should be used to help students connect models and algorithms. Here is another example of unpacking a standard. This comes from grade 8, 8NS3. Extend prior knowledge to translate among multiple representations of rational numbers, fractions, decimals, percentages. Include the conversion of repeating decimal numbers to fractions. Again, our state and district support documents give us clarifying notes. The State Department says that we should use an algorithmic approach to teach all repeating decimals. As we look at the unpacking matrix, we are looking for the verbs, nouns, prior knowledge, and instructional strategies or tools. Our verbs are to extend, translate, and convert. Our nouns are multiple representations of rational numbers, fractions, decimals, percents, repeating decimals to fractions. Our state support document tells me that the student's prior knowledge is from grades 6 and 7. Students convert rational numbers to decimals using long division for terminating and repeating decimals. Translate among multiple representations of rational numbers, including repeating decimals, to fractions. Both of these come from grades 6 and 7. Some instructional strategies you might consider. Before teaching an algorithmic approach for converting a repeating decimal to a fraction, it is helpful to begin with simpler patterns of repeating decimals, such as the thirds, the sixths, the sevenths, and the ninths, allowing students to explore these patterns and generalize a rule for conversion. A calculator may be helpful for this type of exploration. Then use an algorithmic expression and equivalencies to teach the algorithm. Now it is time to pack up this lesson. You may be unpacking your standards because you want to learn more about your standards. You may be writing curriculum or learning about a new instructional model. Keep in mind that you are the key to helping your students master content. Research has proven time and time again that the teacher is the #1 factor in student achievement. By studying your standards, pinpointing exactly what it is that your students must know and be able to do, and choosing research-based instructional strategies, you are making it possible for your students to be successful. So, recall the following. Prior knowledge is essential to teaching a standard, the content, and the technology. The verbs will lead us to a particular skill that we are to teach our students. The nouns lead us to particular concepts or details that we highlight throughout the lesson. Our instructional strategies or tools will help us to build the knowledge our students need to be successful in the classroom. Now, it is your turn to unpack the standards. Choose 3 South Carolina math standards from your grade level. Complete an unpacking matrix with all of the information. Then share and give editing rights to me, Carrie Meldrum, via Google Docs. Email Carrie at kmeldrum@richland2.org if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I hope you found this presentation helpful. Happy unpacking!